So opinion seems kind of split on the new Surface laptop from Microsoft, which they just unveiled alongside Windows 10s. But actually, I'm kind of excited for it. I think it looks pretty good. It's sort of a halfway house between the Surface Pro tablet and the high-end hybrid Surface Book. So the Surface laptop will ship running the new Windows 10s software, but you don't need to worry about that and the fact that it only runs Windows Store apps, which is kind of rubbish, because for the first year you can upgrade for free to Windows 10 Pro, and after that it's only like $50. So the fact that it comes running Windows 10s doesn't really matter. You can just like instantly upgrade to full fat Windows, so that's not an issue. But for me, what really stands out about the Surface laptop is just there's no gimmicks. It's just a traditional clamshell laptop. There's no detachable keyboards or hybrid 2-in-1 tablets. It's just a good old-fashioned laptop. And actually, it's not that expensive if you compare it to some of its rivals, especially from the Apple camp. I think Microsoft makes some great products. All their Surface devices are really premium and well made. They've got the great precision trackpads. It's got a 13.5-inch Pixel Sense display, which is also a touchscreen. For me, it's kind of like the Surface Pro 4 tablet, but with 7th gen Intel processors, and also without a slightly rubbish, compromised, detachable keyboard. In fact, it's all together. It still uses the same Alcantara microfiber material you get on the Surface Pro keyboard, which I actually quite like. Now, of course, it all comes down to specs, price, and ports, which we'll talk about in a second. First of all, specs. The entry-level model is a bit rubbish. It's got a 7th gen Intel Core i5, 4 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigs of storage. So unless you're planning to stick with Windows 10s, I don't think anyone should go for that. But if you go for the one above that, you get 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, and the same 7th gen i5 processor. All that for around $1,250. Now yes, of course, this is expensive for a 13.5-inch laptop. But then again, if you compare that to, say, the MacBook Pro 13, the new one, actually, like for like specs, it's a good deal cheaper. And of course the MacBooks are stuck with the old Skylake processors, they're not touchscreen, and they don't have any stylus pen support like the Surface Pen. But there is one kind of big issue. Really, bizarrely, Microsoft have left out USB-C. There's no USB-C port on the Surface laptop. You get a mini display port, you get a single USB 3.1, but the normal Type A size, as well as a headphone port and the Surface charger. Why would they not put USB-C? Because means you've got no access to Thunderbolt 3, so there's no chance of multiple high-resolution monitors, external monitors, or external GPUs. You can't get great USB-C hubs and adapters, which are pretty commonplace these days. It's absolutely bizarre that they would leave USB-C out, and actually kind of puts me off buying one. That's like the big issue with it, which is kind of saying something, because if the lack of USB-C is the main issue, for me at least, with a new laptop, then everything else must be pretty good. So the Surface laptop comes with all the great advantages of a first-party Surface Microsoft product. It's got all those premium features, great build quality. It's cheaper than an equivalent MacBook Pro 13, although compared to, say, an XPS 13, it becomes a little bit harder to recommend. And right now, it's the only Surface product to come running the latest Kaby Lake 7th gen processors. The Surface Book and the Surface Pro 4 are still on older gen ones, so it's kind of actually the most recent, technically, laptop or device you can get from Microsoft. But then again, it is still expensive. The entry-level model, no one should really buy that unless you're going to stick with Windows 10s, but why would you do that? And of course, it doesn't have USB-C. So there are a couple of issues with it. If you're happy to spend the sort of next level up, the 1,200 quid sort of mark, then actually I think it's going to be a pretty good buy. So you can pre-order the Surface laptop now. It's coming out on June 15th. Hopefully I'll have one fairly soon. I'll get a full review of it coming out. I'm kind of excited for it. I think there's a lot of, as I say, split opinion on it. But for me, I think it looks pretty cool. And given the fact that this Surface Book is so expensive and also on last generation specs, it kind of makes it a bit more tempting. So anyway, that's just what I think. Let me know in the comments what you make of the Surface laptop as well as Windows 10s, whether you like it, whether you're considering buying one. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up and click that subscribe button. And I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chat.